Kevin McCullough.
Welcome back to Times Square. It's That Kevin Show, thatkevinshow.com for all things related. That Kevin Show on all socials. You get the general idea. It's easy to find. That's why we made it that Kevin Show. I'm very honored to have my next guest, who I've never spoken with before, but I know she's had a big impact, and she has an event coming up that she hopes is going to be global in terms of its reach and impact on people. Her name is Jennie Allen. She's a Bible teacher, author, and she is one of the founders, the visionary behind that IF gathering that you may have heard of a number of years ago. But now she's the head of a new thing called Gather 25, and she joins us here. Hello, Jennie. Welcome.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. What is it about today's culture that you are most concerned about?
Wow. Well, I would say the opposite. What am I most encouraged about? Because I have been spending my time on college campuses with a ministry called Unite, and we have been speaking to thousands and thousands of students all over the United States, and it is incredible. They are wanting a relationship with God. They want to know what it looks like to live in a more full way. It's not reflective of what we hear a lot about Gen Z.
And these aren't Christian campuses. These are mainline.
These are secular.
Yes.
Every campus we've been on is a secular college, and it's been miraculous in my mind. I'm so encouraged at what is happening right now in America with college students specifically, but then with Gather 25, we are going to show. With Gather 25, we're going to show the globe. We're going to show what God's doing all over the earth. And when we do, it is going to blow everybody's mind, because the same things that are happening on college campuses here are happening in Africa, in Liberia. We're going to show it. We're going to show it in Germany. We're going to show it in London, all over planet Earth and Oceania. It's miraculous, all that God is doing right now.
I'm getting word from different regions of the world about the work of God and what's happening in different places and how different groups of people are being touched and moved. And I can't divorce that even from what's been happening here over the last number of years in America. I think the students are kind of the tip of the spear in terms of what you see in terms of personal, what probably starts out as anxiety and concern, and then that turns into searching and looking. Yes. But what they're finding is actual truth that they're able to hold on to, and something that actually feeds them in a way that stuff hasn't in the past. And even to the degree, and I'm not one of these people that, my savior is my savior, my president is my president. I keep the two separated. But there's so much going on in the culture. When you had the attack on gender in the schools, when you had the overt confusion that was trying to be populated, even between the sexes and everything else. And what I think you've seen is a very sharp correction of people turning towards wanting to know what is true. Yeah. And I think when it comes to the ultimate truth, Gather 25 has the potential to say, hey, not only is there a God, but you were made by him, and you were made to flourish and purpose because of him. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a desperation, and I don't think it's limited to college students right now. I think all of us feel it, and we want there to be something more. I mean, COVID, if there's one thing COVID taught us, is that, man, we are not in control. and there is a release when it comes to that, if we let it be that, or there's a fear. And I think that fear has grown. And I think what it does when you really believe that God is real and he loves you and sees you and he has a plan for your life, no matter what our circumstances are here, then there's a hope and a fire that starts to grow. And I'm watching these students, and there's such a zeal. But when we go live February 28th for Gather, we're going to begin in the United States. We're going to move to New Zealand and show Oceania. We're going to move to, all the way to Peru. We're going to go to Rwanda, London, Cluj, Romania, and Malaysia. And we're going to see on earth that God is moving so powerfully. And I think what's going to happen is the church is going to be lit ablaze. We are part of a big and winning team. We are connected across the world, whether we believe different things doctrinally or not. There are 2.5 billion people that say they love Jesus. 2.5 billion. That is a lot of people. Our team is big. Our team is strong. God is moving in every part of the world, and people are coming back to him. And for many, the first time, when we're talking to these college students, they don't have church hurt. They're not coming from a lot of baggage. they just are desperate for something that makes their life mean something. And they found it in Jesus.
I've actually spoken with a few pastors here in the New York tri-state area that have talked about the effect since COVID's been over, that they have seen more fruit for the ones that are more evangelistically minded, that are actually concerned about getting the gospel to people and telling them
Yes.
the good news, that they have seen more fruit in this window of time than ever before in their work. And I think that that's really encouraging for people. Now, it's called Gather 25. It's going to be a 25-hour event, but it's also held in 2025. So 25 is kind of a cool number
Yeah.
to tack on there. But
Yeah.
talk to us, just give us the thumbnail of what the program is going to be made up of and what people can expect, and then how to join it.
Absolutely. Well, you're going to see stories from all over the world. You're going to hear the best preaching from every continent. You're going to hear worship, many names you know. If you go to our website, gather25.com, you can see that. But you can tune in wherever you are. In fact, we invite you to host a group wherever you live, and just have some friends over. But you can do it. You can watch it on your phone, by yourself. We just want you to be there. It will not be a gathering of the global church unless you are there. So we are inviting every single person that loves Jesus to come. And even if you don't love Jesus, we hope that you'll participate. And I think you'll be really encouraged in these 25 hours, because it's hard to deny, like, that God, when you're watching the same things happening in Africa, the same things happening in Europe, the same things happening in the US, you go, okay, this isn't man. Like, we didn't get together and make a plan here. This is the Lord moving. And so I think everybody is going to be blown away. Your faith is going to grow. You're going to be strengthened and encouraged by what God is doing on earth. And I think it's going to give everybody a lot of hope. So you go to gather25.com and just say, I'm in. And if you want to host an event, click that box. And it can be as small in your living room or your church. We have churches all over the world hosting over 3,000 events happening in Africa right now. It's wild. We really are on an adventure here, but we would love for anyone listening to be a part.
Yeah. So churches, small groups, Sunday school classes, home study groups, homeschool groups, gather your friends, gather your neighbors, bring them together for Gather 25, gather25.com, you said?
Yes. And
Okay,
this is for every man, woman, and child. I would say put your kids in front of a screen and you'll feel like you just took them around the world. They're going to understand the global church better than anyone if they participate.
Stick around for more of That Kevin. Next, That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.